Welcome to Xclusive on Voice of One Television. I am Rita Zwa. Xclusive is a program that interviews ministers of God and other believers who have had a working relationship with God and have sustained it over the years. And so today I have with me in the studio a guest who I'll be interviewing in a very short while. But before we meet her, we will go on a quick time out and we will be right back. Please stay with us.
When the need arose to take discipleship to the nations, came Voice of One Television. And now, a new ultra is born.
Voice of One TV decoder.
With an unflinching commitment to broadcast, poised with the content of Apostolic Christianity, with a wide range of channel options. Our flagship TV programs cut across live services, interviews, talk shows, movies, music, among others. On board with us. For more inquiries, please call +234 912 261 6226.
Welcome back. It's good to know you are still there. So like I said earlier, I have with me in the studio a very special guest. She is a mother, she is a wife. She is coming all the way from St. Lucia, USA. Please join me as I welcome Digna John the Baptist in the studio.
Thank you.
You are welcome, Mom. It's good to have you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be here.
You look amazing, by the way. I love your green.
Well, thank you. It's prosperity. Thank you.
So, can you tell us a bit about yourself? I know your name is Digna John the Baptist. You're from St. Lucia, USA. Yes. But what more would you want us to know about you?
Actually, you mentioned it. I am married.
Yes.
I'm married and I have a beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
She's 25, as a matter of fact.
As beautiful as you are.
And she is as beautiful, but most importantly, internally as well. She's amazing. Before ministry and before, seeking God, I worked in the corporate industry.
All right.
So I managed a fine jewelry store where we sold fine jewelry, diamonds and emeralds and rubies and all the fancy glittery stuff that the ladies would love and the men would hate, after. But I worked in the corporate world, in retail, and I also worked in farming as well.
Oh, wow.
Really, I know, right? It's so totally diverse, like
that
fancy, this glittery lifestyle, and then yet still, farming as well.
I can't connect.
I know, right? Wow. But I was from a small village in St. Lucia called Monrepo, and it's a farming village. And I was very close to my grandmother. So because of that, it was very easy for me to take up farming because it's a way of spending time with her. So I was able to be diverse, where I could step into a fancy lifestyle and step back down into just a normal, plain country girl lifestyle, just a simple.
Wow, that's amazing. So right now you are in the city of Makurdi, Benue State, Nigeria.
Yes.
I want to ask, how did you encounter RCN? I know because you are here for International Eagles Conference 2024.
Yes.
How did you encounter Remnant?
Okay, I'll try to get this story as short as possible.
All right.
Back home in the Caribbean, it's totally different from Nigeria in terms of the way that you encounter Christ.
Yes.
And first of all, I had a stigma attached to Nigerians.
Oh my.
I'm so sorry. I mean, of course that has changed. Now I'm an ambassador of Nigeria back home.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
So, in the past, we found a lot of fake preachers.
Yes.
Fake miracles, just lots of fakeness.
Wow.
And a lot of corruption. And a lot of it was attached to unfortunately to Nigerians. Unfortunately.
I understand.
And because of that, there was a block when it came to Nigerian preachers. By the time I would hear one, I would just literally turn off the television or yes. No,
understand.
It was just one of those things. And I encountered Apostle in 2020.
Wow.
He was the reason why I found out about RCN. I didn't even know RCN exists. I knew Apostle exists before.
Wow.
Only because I remember in a time of prayer after 2020, most of our jobs were out. So a lot of us, churches were closed, because of the COVID-19. So a lot of us were doing churches online. And I remember doing a lot of prayers. And I always wondered, why is it that in Africa, there are so many miracles, so many signs, and so much hunger?
Yes.
I always wondered that. And we're in the Caribbean. We don't pray as much as you do.
Yeah.
We don't. We don't pray as much as you do. We don't see those miracles. We don't see those signs. We don't see those wonders. But yet still, we love God.
Yes.
And I remember praying, and I kept on asking God. I said, Lord, I'm tired of all these fake pastors. I said, I want to be like you. I want people to know that you are real.
That was intense hunger.
There was such an intense hunger, but it wasn't a hunger from just on YouTube worshiping. And I came across Apostle Arome Osayi's message. And I'm like, oh, another African, Nigerian. And I was about to put it off. But for some reason, I could not put it off.
Wow.
I just kept on listening to his message. And I listened to him.
I think that was the Spirit of God telling you that this was it. This was a person who was going to actually help you get into the kind of things you were praying for.
But with such a stubborn mind, you'd have to tell me 3 times, huh?
I understand.
So after listening to his message, I just got curious. I got a burden. And when I went to bed in the evening, I got an encounter with him.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
Yes.
And I remember also seeing another video of him with James.
Yes, James.
And who's actually here at the prayer conference, this prayer conference. Yes. And I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And I couldn't believe coming from the tent to embassy and praying for 7 years consistently. Most times people pray and you give up. You give up after 6 months or after a month or maybe even after a day.
Exactly. You would give up. Yes, that reminds me. Apostle has this slogan that in consistency lies the power. And he has tested consistency and it has worked for him.
Yeah, he has. And the interview, after seeing the interview, I just sent it out to every friend, every family. I just spread it all out. I just couldn't believe it because I wanted people to see I found someone who's from Nigeria who's actually genuine, and I knew it was the Holy Spirit who led me to him.
Of course.
And that was when my walk with RCN started.
Wow.
I was having a horrible time with my marriage. Horrible time.
Oh my.
And I figured the Lord wanted me to focus on him. We always want to think and act like we know what God wants.
Exactly.
So that was me. I was in that position. And I remember leaving St. Lucia, coming to seek God. Yes. Apostle was coming to the UK for a conference.
Yes.
And I wanted to attend that conference. And it was at that conference, for the first time, I thought people who spoke in tongues were crazy.
Whoa.
Listen, it was my first encounter with that kind of prayer machinery, where people were holding on to the chairs and to their stomachs. And then I had never seen a miracle, an actual genuine miracle happen before.
Wow.
And for the first time, when I went to the London conference, I saw it.
Yes.
I saw eyes were open and ears were healed. And I saw lots of deliverances, and the presence of God was so beautiful. And it's something that I just can't, it just got me hungry.
Yeah.
It just got me seeking him so much more. And I remember using up all my monies. That's the thing about hunger for Christ. You don't think. You just move.
I
was using up all of my savings, hopping from from town to town to follow them wherever they went, because normally when he comes on a conference, he goes to the different places, Cardiff and Scotland and Manchester. And I followed through all of them. And one of those instances was when I interacted with him and I begged him, I said, Apostle, we need you in St. Lucia. And he looked at me and he laughed and he said, you have a pure heart, you're genuine.
Yes, I could literally feel how pure that heart is.
He said that, he said, you have a pure heart, you're genuine.
Voice of One Television takes its official cry on satellite with its mantra of striving towards the rebirth of Apostolic Christianity. Its sole aim is to invade every home, systems, structure, 7 continents, 7+ billion persons with the content of Apostolic Christianity, thereby discipling all nations for Christ. And yes, broadcasting on all H265 HD free-to-air decoders. For more information and inquiries, please call +234 9122 61 6226.
I was trying to get a seminary.
Okay.
Because again, Apostle said I wasn't ready. So I needed to get myself ready.
Ready.
Yes, because I was genuine about my walk. And I remember I heard about a school called Canonia, which is in Abuja.
Yes.
And then some of the ministers at the conference, they were like, did you not hear about ADEOGUN?
Really?
Apostle has a school, ADEOGUN. And I was like, wow. And they're like, but you're not gonna make it. You're not, because they looked at my appearance and they're like, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna survive. So you could probably do it online.
Oh my.
But they had no idea what I had inside and what they had no idea.
How hungry you were.
How hungry I was.
And you were ready to just do everything.
I was ready to just do everything. And before this, I had joined the Cardiff team. The RCN Cardiff team. Yes, I was part of the RCN Cardiff family, and we prayed every midnight. Wow. And I did all the 10-hour prayers. So I got baptized into prayer before I came to Nigeria. Wow. To God be praised. Yes. And I remember speaking to Pastor Mike at the time, who was the pastor for Cardiff. And I was asking him his advice. I was like, Pastor Mike, I really want to go to ADEOGUN. I really want to go to... However, the finances, I can't figure out how am I going to pay for it because it was not part of the plan. Yes. So how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to move to a place? How am I going to move to Nigeria? No, the flight. I have no friends. I know nobody. How am I going to move? Well, how am I going to survive? What am I going to do? And he said to me, pray about it. And I remember that it was... Apostle's friend, he calls him the Black Diamond, Apostle Gideon. Yeah, Apostle Gideon. Yes, he came for a conference as well in Cardiff, and I was one of the ushers. Wow. So he was I met with him, and he prayed with me. Oh my. He prayed with me about it. And I got an encounter the evening, and I was led to fast about it. Wow. And I remember logging on to ADEOGUN. And when I logged on, the website, yes, for school, I just wanted to know what it entailed. Yes. And I logged on and I got frightened. That was faith in action, though. I got frightened and I said, I don't even have the qualification to do some of it, and I don't even have the monies, and I don't, I just felt and thought of everything negative. Everything that would persuade me not to go. And I said to the Lord, Lord, if it's meant to be, can you just show me a sign supernaturally, just a supernatural sign? Yes. And it was on the final day of registration, or when I went on to my emails. I was just deleting email. You know, now you have to pay to get storage. Yes. So you have to go to delete everything. And I saw a mail from ADEOGUN congratulating me. Oh, glory, for school. Glory. I'm like, I just fell on my knees and I started to cry. I can't imagine what joy. And I started to worship. And as soon as I worshipped and I cried, I got a call.
Oh my.
And just this is the testimony of how this even started.
Wow.
The first call was my sister, because it was Christmas time.
Yes.
And it was like the end of December. And if I were
Yes.
to come to school, I would have to be in Nigeria in January,
Yes.
beginning of January.
Yes.
And this was literally the end. It was, Christmas had just passed. It was like the 26th, 27th.
I understand.
And my sister was on the phone and she's like, hey, Diggs, I just wanted to let you have £100 as your Christmas present. I said, girl,
amazing God.
thank you so much. I said, do you know you're the first seed that the Lord is sowing into my schooling?
Exactly, part of the answered prayer.
It's part of the answered prayer. So she said to me, I said, I'm just about to go to school, and to theological school. And she's like, oh, great, you're going to be doing it in the UK. That's awesome. I said, no, Nigeria. She hung up the phone. She hung the phone up on me. She hung the phone up on me and she spread it to the entire family.
Oh my.
And told them that I am crazy.
Yes, before you take that,
Yes.
I was actually going to come to this part. Now, you have made up your mind to go for Adulam, and here you are trying to get finances to go for Adulam. Tell us how your family felt, like your husband, your daughter, even before the extended family, how they felt when you made a decision to come for Adulam.
I was on an island all alone.
Oh my God.
I was blocked.
Blocked?
Yes, I was blocked.
Whoa.
I got messages of kidnapping.
Oh my.
Of all the worst news.
Visited cancelled.
What? It was, there was this fear.
Oh my. It must have been a lot.
It was a lot. It was overwhelming. It was overwhelming. But I have a radical spirit that when God tells me something, as scary as it may look, I will go for it.
Launch out.
I would launch out. So I was blocking everybody out because in my mind,
yes,
I want to go to do these prayers. I want to go to Adulam, into the cave.
Yes.
I'm seeking God. I need him, you know.
Godward. People move forward by means of astrology, backward by history, upward by religion, downward and inward by science, art, philosophy, and technology. The best direction to take in life, therefore, is Godward. And there is only one acceptable route. He is Jesus Christ, without whom every journey embarked upon will be an exercise in futility. To order your copy in the United States, phone number +1 507 479 6333. In Ghana, phone number +233 548 491 524. In Kenya, phone number +254 790 923 812. In the United Kingdom, 11. Or online at www.believersbookshop.co.uk. In Nigeria, phone number +234 803 356 9841. For those outside the listed countries above, they can order for both hard and soft copies from Amazon by entering the link below. Amazon.com/author/Arome Osayi _books. For those who want to order soft copies in Nigeria, okadabooks.com/user/iron-pen.
So what next was, one of my aunts came on board and she decided, thank God for prayers and everything. She came on board and she helped with some of the finances. And remember I mentioned earlier on that I worked in jewelry.
Yes, yes.
Fine jewelry. So I accumulated some really beautiful pieces over the years.
Yes.
And because of that, I remember one day I said to the Lord that he gave them to me and I would like to give them back.
Oh my.
I said, I'm just going to sacrifice and I would sell up all my jewelry to afford me to pay to come to Adulam.
What a
and
hard
I went,
posture.
My mom went livid. She's like, you are definitely losing it. You are crazy. You are like those people that they take and they bring their rings to the church and all their jewelry to the church. You know, she really just didn't understand what was happening.
I very well understand.
And I went to sell off all of the jewelry and I said, the Lord gave it and he can always give it back. And I love him so much more than riches. untold. I really do. So I gave all of that up, and I got monies. Yes, to help. Yes, to help with the flight. I had to do medicals. It was difficult. I had to get the visas. Oh my gosh, the Nigerian visa. I had to get a place to stay. And it was the Lord who placed it on a couple's heart. I am so indebted to them, Jay and Wanika. I love them. And I remember they called me and told me the Lord asked them, why have you not answered Digna?
Oh my.
Yes.
Wow, so much. Sir, before, I would have loved us to say more on this, but we are running out of time. So can you share your experience in Adulam with us? You know, from all the rigors in Adulam to mission field.
Yes.
You know, just within some minutes.
Okay, so with Adulam, 7-hour prayers, 10-hour prayers, 12-hour prayers, baptizing with just the place, the heat.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, she's right. The heat was just scorching. It was something unusual that only someone out of Makurdi can understand.
Yes.
The 20 chapters a day.
Wow.
The personal prayers. At home, we don't do missions or evangelism as much as you do here in Nigeria.
It's not
afraid. But with Adulam back and say, oh, my little Oibo. It was
there is no Jew, no Gentile. Everyone is one.
Strip. I stayed with that lovely couple that I told you about, and we were praying. Now, remember, I told you I'm married now, but I said to you before I was going through something so much at home.
Yes, you mentioned that.
Yes, and I decided that I wanted to leave. And I just wanted to serve God and not be distracted with any men or anything in my life. I just wanted God. And it was that night we were praying, and one of the ladies, Jay had a prophecy, and she's like, Mama D, the Lord wants to tell you something. And I said, no problem, Jay, go ahead. And she came, she said to me, can I speak to you in the room because it's a bit private? Now, remember, I never told them I was married.
Yes.
So when I went to the room, she said to me, the Lord said that you need to forgive your husband and you need to put your house in order before you do anything for my kingdom.
Interview has been an amazing one. Personally, I have been so blessed. I've been enjoying it. But it seems time is not so much on our side. For someone who has been through a little of what, just have been through what you've gone through and is struggling right now, do you have a counsel you can give to them? Of course.
Actually, just sometimes you just need to let go. I believe a lot of times we hold ourselves in such high esteem with pride, and we're so proud, and we don't let ourselves go. And I'm just asking you to let yourself go today. You don't understand what you have in Nigeria. You don't understand what you have in RCN. I came from thousands of miles away because I found some treasure in Nigeria, the same Nigeria that I didn't even like. I found a treasure there. So I'm asking you to put yourselves aside, put your name and your fancy, everything aside. You know, when it comes to pain, you don't look at names and you don't look at accolades. Pain is pain. Hell is hell. Ones that I sold. Wow. The real treasure.
Wow, wow. Yeah. Thank you so much, Digna John the Baptist, all the way from St. Lucia, USA, for coming on the show.
Yes.
Thank you. It's been an amazing time. And we've not had enough. We are sure that you are going to avail yourself for a second part of this interview. Thank you so much. So viewer out there, this is where we call it a wrap for today. I am Rita Azwa, and this is Exclusive on Voice of One Television. Bye.
When the need arose to take discipleship to the nations, came Voice of One Television. And now, a new ultra is born.
Voice of One TV decoder.
With an unflinching commitment to broadcast, poised with the content of Apostolic Christianity, with a wide range of channel options. Our flagship TV programs cut across live services, interviews, talk shows, movies, music, among others. On board with us. For more inquiries, please call +234 912 261 6226.